Welcome to the Genius Talk podcast. I'm your host Atul Raj from the bestemailmarketer.com, and today we have Rahul Alim with us. Rahul, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm really looking forward to dropping some golden nuggets and hopefully the audience sees well to it.
Awesome, brother. So, for our listeners who don't know you, can you tell them who you are and what do you do?
Yeah, I'll make a long story short. How about that? So I've been doing digital marketing since the dinosaur years of 2004. Started off as a simple-minded marketer, just doing display advertising only for a very specific niche in real estate. Learned a lot from that niche. Real estate's one of the hardest ones to crack in my mind. Did very well, closed some publicly traded companies in that particular space. Then I turned into a full-service digital marketing agency from just doing graphics and display to funnels, websites, SEO, and ads. Built a team up in house with a very small staff outsourced, and then evolved into, after 21 years of doing this, a lot of people would ask me, not only my employees, but also a lot of people in the marketing space would say, like, how do you do what you do? How do we get to the next level? And then I started just coaching for free. And then it started paying a toll because I was like spending a lot of time doing all this free stuff, but I wasn't available that much because I was using my extra time. So then I just started coaching, charging for it. And then I built a group and a mentorship. And since I still have the agency, I'm teaching them what I'm currently doing, what I've done in the past, the systems, the structures, all the tools that we sell to small businesses and we learn a lot because like a lot of the things we do, some of them just don't work. And then we have to cut those services out because when the customers are very sticky, like the business owners that are listening to this, when there's something that they're getting results on, then those are the core features. Those are the core services that we want to continue with because there's a sticky factor. Sticky just means you do a good job and the customers stay with you for a very long time and they don't cancel you due to results. So once we have those footings, then we have to teach people how to be really good at what they do, because if you suck, you're going to lose the business anyways and say the product didn't work or the service didn't work for me. But the reality is you sucked. You just didn't put the time in to learn the skill. And that's really what we teach people in the GSD. That's our mentorship program.
Yeah, I think this is the best coaching model because you are practicing and doing things what's working, okay? And what's working, you are going to just teach them to your coaching clients.
Right, exactly. And I mean, like even right now, like with the benefit that people get is like we're getting in the room, like I have a meeting after this, and we're talking about a $350,000 project doing a voice AI like development program for a company. So they're like we're showing people like the journey along the way, saying like how long did it take to us? How did we meet this person? How did the conversation start? When did we lean in? How did we find the pain point? How did we decide who the stakeholders are? Who needs to be on these meetings? Do we charge them for scope of work? Do we do it for free? Do we fly to them or we sit behind our computers? So all these things I'm teaching them live. I'm like, everybody has big opportunities. They're just not aware of it yet. They're because if somebody just started, the first thing they have is no confidence because they don't know what they're doing. And then when they have no confidence, the easiest cop out is charge too little. And then when you have big customers in your phone book you went to college with, or you just don't see things, you're not as aware because you're just chasing down the cheap clients. But then if you change that mentality, saying like, if I learn a very good skill and I get in front of a big network of, let's say, rich people problems, I can charge a hell of a lot more, improve my life from the start, or make that change now. So it just depends on what market you want to go after. And that's, you can get rich either way. You can help a lot of clients either way. If you want to go high ticket with the hundreds of thousands of dollars a year accounts, do it. If you want to be high volume and sell $1,000 a month clients, perfectly fine too, because the pathway gets you to the same destination anyways.
So I'm curious, like, what's internal system a boutique company should have, like you, so that it will help us scale and not kill the margin or the quality of your service.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have the math on the margin first because you want to initially I'm just going to talk about a new person, and this will relate to veterans in the space as well. Like if I'm selling $1,000 product, I just need to know what my cost is first. So I know the margin. Now, the first step, if you're just like a starting entrepreneur or side hustler, you just want to cover your bills. That's the first thing. Like how many clients and how much margin do I have to pay for rent, for cell phone, all the basic necessities, right? In today's world. The second part is once you start getting customers and you're at like, let's say a trigger point might be $10,000 and now you're ready to hire an assistant or a project manager or a salesperson. And you pay them a salary plus commission. So they actually stay with you versus train them and they leave in 2 or 3 months. So they have like a career future that can help you grow. At that particular point, that's what I'm charging for the future. So if I'm charging 1,000 by myself to cover my own basic necessities, I might need to charge 1,200 or 1,500 on a go forward, because now I'm charging for the people I don't have. I need to create the profit systems to hire more people. So if I hire a salesperson and I'm the salesperson now there's two of us. Then if I want a project manager, now I free up more time. Then I hire an assistant, then I free up more time. So we're buying our time back, scaling and scaling and scaling. And sometimes that diminishes the profit as the owner. But if we're covering our basic necessities, we're thinking long term, like in a year from now, how much more money could I make by doing it the smart way versus being the jack of all? Let me close the client, let me do the work, let me never sleep, let me never visit and watch my children play soccer or even know their names till they're 18. Like you're obviously like, look, Indian, I'm Indian, right? Our parents were that way. It's just like work, and then you really meet your family when you're like 18 or 19, because they're the immigrants. They're the ones that are giving us the better future. But right now we can have the best of all worlds because we can work from home remotely. It's not like glued to an office. So there's just so much opportunity right now. That's why it's always like reinvest smartly back into the business, grow through good people, and then keep your customers happy by being very good at what you do. But the systems you asked, did you want to go over like what exact systems do I use? Yeah, no, I'm open book. I don't care. My playbook is public for the internet.
Yeah, come
Systems
on.
for project management, we use Trello. For our CRM of how we handle the clients, we use Go High Level. For voice AI, we use Thinker.ai. Those are like the core features. For internal communications with the remote people and even non-remote people is Slack. I come from Basecamp, so it was a big change for me to go to Trello because I loved Basecamp. I still do, but we're on Trello right now because the team likes it more, and I'm like, if they like it, I like it, right? So being the owner, I want them happy, not just me. Because anytime a member of the team wants something, at first make sure, are you going to use it? What benefit does it have? Will it make us more money? Will it save us more time? And if that's the case, can you get other people on board? And if you're willing to do it, I'm willing to pay for it. So as long as there's a use for it, because we used to buy shit that nobody used, and then we'd be like, oh, damn, we've been paying for 8 months and we haven't even logged in. So I'm like, well, I want to avoid even like a tiny leak, even if it's only $50 or $100 a month. I don't want to spend the money if we're not going to benefit from it, because we have to keep a little bit of a close eye on it. And you'll learn through wasting money. I mean, we're all going to do it. We're all going to burn some money here and there. And take responsibility of the money you spend, because you're the one with the credit card. That's one piece of advice is nobody forced you to do anything. If you pay for it and it didn't work, that's your fault as the business owner.
Um, when businesses reach out to you, what are the problems they're commonly facing?
Not enough revenue. And then I have to dig deeper because that's the easy thing. Like, I'm calling a marketing company because I want more leads. But what they're really saying is, I want more money in my bank account. So now I have to build a pathway to there. Most often I can blindly say, without even knowing, I'm going to focus on small businesses based in my neighborhood. Business is slow right now. It's the economy's a little bit different than it used to be. Tariffs and rising prices of everything. The equipment's higher, the people are higher, the lead cost might be even higher. It's just higher, right? So how do we get business? It's not foot traffic, where it's not just our phone book. A phone book is great because we can literally talk to people who already know, like, and trust us and drive traffic in. That's one way. But it's really running really good ads with really good perceived deals. And then from the ad, the speed to getting to that person is more imperative than ever and will constantly get faster and faster. Because the audience, I'm going to ask you guys a question. So comment below what you think when you see this. But if you filled in a form, are you getting a call from that vendor or that restaurant, dentist, or whomever within 60 seconds? How about within 30? Or let's say the reality is you're probably not getting a call back at all. So you actually inquired. The business owner who grumbles about not having enough patients, or restaurant patrons, or whatever business they're in, says the marketing doesn't work. But is that really the truth? Are they really saying the marketing didn't work when the marketing got the lead? They're not calling it. So we plant voice AI on the back. Every one of our clients gets this no matter what. Unless they already have a solution that's way better than what we can do, then we're going to back off and say, dude, your shit's better than ours. But if it's not, which is, I would say, almost every single time, ads go in immediately within 30 to 60 seconds. Voice AI is calling them, qualifying them if it's appropriate for that business owner. and then booking them on their calendar or their meeting or getting their address to set up an in-home inspection of a roof, or depending on the industry, of course. We have all this diversity where voice AI is already better than humans. A lot of people are thinking AI is going to, they're looking at like the negative news, but if we look at it from the safe and positive light, it's going to make a ton of business. And I love the fact that a lot of people are not like sold on it. And mostly it's like marketers are already sold on AI because they want the next thing to get the advantage. Business owners are going to find a reason why it doesn't work, which is cool. But I love that because we're going to focus on the businesses that do believe in it because they're going to crush those other businesses by not modernizing. Yeah, because it's a competitive landscape. It like I truly believe it's the law of the jungle. Because like if I'm like, let's say I'm a business owner in this particular case, I'm a roofer and then you're a roofer. I want to beat you. I mean, it's not like you and I are competing per se, but if there's a job that we're both like bidding on, I want that job. So what am I going to do to get the advantage over you without having you even meet the homeowner? I'm going to go speed the lead. I'm going to market to them. I'm going to set up my systems where it's like, here's happy clients around your area. Here's our reviews on Google. I'm going to actually invest into buying the customer trust. And then the other roofer is so disorganized. When a lead comes in, it just goes to their email and they have to hunt and search, and just finding a lead becomes a challenge versus the guy who just invests a little money in tech. That guy's going to go from 500,000 to 1 million, then 1 million to 5 million. While roofer number two is just going to constantly struggle and have to subcontract for companies like roofer A, right? So it's just simple technology. And sometimes you just don't need to ask questions. You just don't need to know everything about everything, right? Like I don't know everything about Earth, but I live on it. So you don't need to ask everything about, well, what does it do? Will it call my wife for booking reservations? Gives a shit. It's going to call the leads and make more money. Ideal clients, there's two types. Number one, when it comes to the coaching business, we primarily focus on digital marketing agency owners or something close to it, like an online coach or a consultant, everything in that area. Now, could that program work for business owners? Absolutely. But that's not our target audience. Our target audience are the marketers that can be better at what they do and go help more business owners. That's why we do it. Because if I help you be way more strategic, way better at client acquisition, and then you execute for a client and you're better and they get better results, then we can kind of build an army of people just getting better results all across and get rid of all the garage band marketing people that screw everything up for everybody. Right. So then the second side, that's my coaching business. Now on the second side, it's kind of a unique scenario because we were niche and now we're not. Even though I really, really promote new agencies, focus on one offer, one service, one niche, because then you become a specialist and you'll sell through. You learn customer pain points. Our transition is kind of like getting into trying to be a bigger agency so we can help bigger customers. Like kind of like, let's say Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V. He might work with Budweiser one day, but then HBO the next. So in his original agency, we'll call it wine. He sold wine. So he was a specialist in everything wine, and now he broadened up into his agency. And that's what we've been doing, is making it a broader audience. So our threshold of who our ideal customer is comes with two things. Number one, the size of the company. Number two, can we even do the job? If we can't, we don't need the conversation. We might take a initial conversation just to discover, like, are we the right fit? And we're pretty transparent because we don't need the business. We just want to be with like a really growth minded company that we can actually help. We're not going to half bake something where we want to make the whole cake. So it's really a revenue threshold and can we do the job type marketing agency. Yeah, but it's simple. It's simple like things. Like, I mean, we don't have to be everything to everybody. Some people just built out that we don't have any kind of financial criteria because it's so inexpensive to implement voice AI. It's like under 10,000 per year to develop something like that for somebody to really kind of make them a ton of money and be their best salesperson.
Looking back to when you started, what's the one lesson you will tell yourself if you have to restart again?
The lesson I would tell myself, that's a good question. I would say hire smarter people faster. Hire smarter people faster. Just because I was a do-it-all mentality, like a lot of us are. And there's a mantra that we learned in cartoons. It might have been Uncle Scrooge, I don't know. But if you want to do something right, you have to do it yourself. That's the worst saying I've ever heard now that I'm a little bit older. If you want to do something right, hire somebody smarter. Don't do it yourself because you lose your leverage of time.
Exactly. I made this mistake.
Everybody has. We all have to. It doesn't matter who gives you the advice. Warren Buffett or Elon Musk himself could tell you the advice, but you're going to do it anyways. You're going to try to take a shortcut and it makes it worse. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, what personality trait would you attribute majority of your success to?
An attribute, I would say being an athlete that never went pro drives me more than anything in the world. So my tenacity comes from how I was raised, from a hardworking family first that was always working, always putting the family first, always having the greater good of the family. It was a bloodline. Like, this is the earth. It's us, this household. So they were at a high work ethic. That work ethic, I got into sports while they're into education. So their tenacity in education and success, mine translated into being the best athlete in sports on the teams that I played for. So that work ethic came from there. So that's kind of my biggest attribute is I will outwork anybody in anything I do until I don't need to outwork them and still beat them. And that just means I don't have to just do this mindless effort. I can now do strategic effort because it now becomes second nature and unconscious. At first, you have to work very hard just to catch up to other people who are working less. And then you create an efficiency model. Your skill develops so high that it seems effortless, so you can spend less time on certain things.
So, for our listeners who want to know more about you and want to connect with you, where can they go?
I put my handle on here. That's my Instagram handle. However, I am more active on Facebook the most right now. I mean, I reply on like LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. The rest I don't. The easiest is Facebook and Instagram because it all comes into one place for me. So my handle is Rahul Alim on Instagram, and then for Facebook, Rahul Alim.
Awesome. So, is there anything else that you would like to share?
Yeah, I mean, I can, like, anybody who's a marketer, if I can give them a free course, free training. We got a lot of things in our group that are just there. You don't have to buy anything from us because that, like, our knowledge, like when you ask me about the tools, I'm willing to share every playbook we have. So whatever we put it on the internet. And then people then pay us for our time when they want one-on-one or coaching or whatnot, or marketing services for their clients or referrals or whatnot. So we're always happy to put the playbooks on the internet because that just helps a lot of people. And then, of course, it filters down to more people hiring us in the end result.
Awesome, Rahul. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. It was really great chatting with you.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks for having me on.